Hey guys, Tyler Erzberger here in quarantine in my apartment, and today I'm joined by T1's newest Valorant signing, Victor Food Wong. How's it feel? You have now joined the ranks of Faker and other legendary players in the T1 organization. Just how's it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously T1's a big name in League of Legends, so definitely be happy to be part of them.
How did T1 kind of come onto your radar? Did they obviously you kind of retired from CS in the past week? I'm sure other organizations were talking to you. What was it about T1 that made you sign with them?
So we just talked about T1. As far as the players go, so right when they contacted me, it was AZK and Braxton Crashies, and I haven't played with AZK too much, so I didn't really know. But as far as what I've heard, I've only heard good things about him. He's a good teammate, great guy. So and Braxton Crashies, I played with Brax on a team in the past. As everyone probably knows, the infamous Swell Patrol of January, I believe it was January of last year, sometime around that, and the whole thing about us three leaving for E United. So yeah, and as far as Crashies, I talked to him a ton. I played FPL with him, so I just know like what I'm getting from him. He's a good guy, good to talk to. Yeah.
What agents do you foresee yourself playing on this team? Obviously, AZK loves playing the Sage. What kind of agents do you see, you're filling into this T1 team?
So right now our philosophy is that everyone should be able to play everyone at least to some degree. So you're not just stuck on playing, for example, Sage forever, and if the time comes where you can't play Breach or something. But I've been mainly playing a lot of Sage. I've been playing some Cypher. Also been playing a little bit of Breach, but yeah.
What is it about Cypher and Sage that kind of the two Sentinel agents? What is it about those two agents that really have caught your eye and kind of molded with your play style?
So Sage and Cypher obviously are really good defensive agents. Like Cypher's camera is just way too good in my opinion. Just like the free information of where they are is just too good. And Sage's defensive walls and slows, her slow too. Like her slow is just so good right now, and there's not really any counterplay. So yeah, those are reasons why I play them a lot.
So obviously you were playing professional Counter-Strike in the T2 scene, working your way up, Swole Patrol, Freakazoid, Kellis, all of them. When did you first start playing Valorant? Was it a thing of you were always going to play it right when it came out? Like, and just kind of see and just test the waters, see if you're good at it? Or what was your plan when you heard of Valorant, and when did you really start, like, thinking of maybe this is the game you want to go pro in?
Well, it was called So when it was called a Project A at the time, and so when Project A was announced, I didn't really foresee myself leaving Counter-Strike to play it. To be honest, like I played it a little bit. Actually, it took a while for me to get access to it, and I played a little, and I didn't really see myself playing this long term. Sorry, what was the other part?
Just what about Valorant? So you weren't really into it. What changed? Like, what made you want to become pro in the game?
Yeah. So it was actually when T1 approached me, and I was like, and at that time we weren't doing too hot. Our CSGO team wasn't doing too hot, and it didn't really feel like any organizations had any interest in picking up a CSGO team. So when T1 approached me, I thought I was just gonna give it a fair shot and not just like dismiss it as something I wouldn't play. So I played a little bit with the T1 guys, and it turns out like the game, even though the game may seem a lot may seem a lot different from CS:GO, the abilities are really just like substitutes for like the utility usage in CS:GO, pretty much. The only difference between the two games I would say is obviously the mechanics, and that not everyone has the same, or like this, like in CS:GO everyone has access to every grenade, but in Valorant not everyone has the same access, you know.
So you have to pick and choose really what players to play which kind of utility and so on, instead of everyone, being able to buy flashbangs or smokes. Yeah. So you're obviously not the only person from the T2 NACS scene to retire. Freakazoid, your teammate, has also left. Kellis, Wardell is Sabrosa. Basically, a lot of the Tier 2 North American Counter-Strike scene has been checking out. They're saying, I'm going to Valorant. There's no upside to really grinding CS anymore. No orgs are taking a chance on CS teams. Do you think this is going to continue? Do you foresee even more, Tier 2 NA CS players, going to Valorant or retiring altogether?
I would say yes when it comes to the unsalaried Tier 2 pros. But as far as the Tier 1 scene, I don't see them going anywhere, or like orgs or teams that aren't really Tier 1 but have a big organization back then. For example, Envy isn't I wouldn't say they're a solid Tier 1 yet. So I don't see them going anywhere either. But as far as I know, there's some players that are sticking to CS that are still unsalaried. So I don't know. Maybe they switch, maybe they don't. I don't know.
Who's a T1 player, a Tier 1 player in NA who, if they made the switch to Valorant, do you think they would just like pop off? If there's any player you've played against, I know Lige and Stewie and them have been playing a lot of the game. Which Tier 1 player in the CSGO scene do you think would really take over Valorant if they made the switch?
I would go as far as to say almost any Tier 1 player, if they tried Valorant and gave it a really fair shot, they would take over the scene. Or like be at the top at least.
How do you go on?
Sorry to cut you off.
Go on.
Because Counter-Strike, like obviously Counter-Strike players are really ahead of the curve right now when it comes to like the tactical part of it. So and Counter-Strike skills really in my opinion, transfer really easily. The only thing that would take time is just learning the abilities of everyone and learning how to counter certain abilities.
So obviously the CS pros have been dominating a lot of the early part of the Valorant beta. Outside of those, the Liges, the Stewies, the Wardell, Brax, the CS-born players, has anyone surprised you in, solo queue? Like I know Corey has been popping off. He just retired from Overwatch. Sinatra also retiring from Overwatch. Has anyone, unknown or someone not from the CS scene impressed you in the beta?
I'm not sure which game they come from, but Your Lulu, we scrimmed him a little bit in the past, and his team his team just feels like they have a decent understanding of how the tactical part of Valorant, even though they don't come from CS yet.
So how long do you think it'll take, these non-CS players to kind of catch up to the CS players? Obviously, guys like you, Brax, Wardell, who, were already up and coming talents in CS. I believe, you have a higher ceiling to kind of hit. But, for the older CS players, who, we're about to retire from CS anyway, how long will it take for a newer player to surpass them? Like, how long do you see the CS reign kind of happening in Valorant before they're overtaken, if ever?
That's hard. That's hard to answer because Counter-Strike players obviously have like almost 10,000 hours in Counter-Strike. Every player that's Tier 2 or Tier 1, Tier 1 players probably have more. So, but for the most part, a lot of players have around 10,000 hours. But that's not to say it takes 10,000 hours to catch up to us. So that's hard to say because there's a lot of depth to it when it comes to the tactical part of it. There's like fakes, like do they expect this? Or do they not expect this? Stuff like that. So my answer is it's hard to say because it's different for everybody. Some people might catch on really quickly and pick up things really quick like that, but some other players might not have that same learning speed.
So obviously right now T1 has you, Crashies, AZK, and Brax. While you guys have not signed a fifth player yet, I know you guys are trialing, testing people out. What do you want in your fifth player? What kind of player do you think would fit and kind of complete the team of the T1, first Valorant roster? Who are you kind of looking for? No names particularly, but like what kind of personality or play style are you looking for that fifth player?
Yeah. So we're looking like obviously all the good stuff. A good teammate, able to mesh well with our personalities that we already have. But outside of that, I think the main thing we're looking for is a player that can. I wouldn't want to say IGL because everyone can kind of IGL on this team, and that's what I think that's how it should be. That every player should be able to say, hey guys, we should do this because X, X, and X. But I think we're looking for a player who can do that. Uh, but I don't want to say IGL, but he would probably be like the main voice of the team. Yeah.
Looking at the landscape right now of Valorant, there's the kind of a quartet of Breach, Brimstone, Cypher, and Sage. They're kind of the meta picks. Then you kind of throw in a Sova or a Duelist to kind of round out the roster. How do you feel about the meta right now in Valorant?
Uh, I think Cypher's too strong in my opinion. Like he's just miles ahead of the others when it comes to like the defensive stuff he can bring, as well as offensive too, because you could tripwire your flank, and you'll know whenever someone's trying to flank you, which is I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet. But as far as the other three, Sage is definitely should be a staple in anyone's team. I think Breach can be interchangeable. Breach and Brim might be interchangeable between the others because I don't think Omen's too bad. I don't think. I think Sova's alright. I think Sova's alright. I think. I think everyone's good pretty much. Everyone can like find a slot, or everyone can fit anyone in the team depending on the map, obviously. So I wouldn't say those four are like the everyone will have those four, but those are definitely the most likely four.
But Cypher and Sage are kind of have-tos.
Cypher, Sage are musts. Yeah.
If you had to delete one map from the game right now, what would it be? I think I know. I mean, I think there's an obvious answer here, but if you had to delete one map from the game right now of the three, which one would you pick?
I think Bind.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I don't like. I feel like Bind is just. I don't know. Something about it, like hookah, and like I just don't like it. Like it's very hard to be a B player right now because like it's just so hard to hold. Because if you just give them control of hookah and long B, like it's done.
So you prefer split over bind, which I think right now the kind of the common consensus in the Valorant scene is split is the worst thing ever created. It's too defensive heavy. If you're an offensive team, you have no chance of retaking a site. So, but you actually prefer split over bind.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't talked to my team about like which map they prefer, but in my opinion, I don't like bind.
I'm guessing Haven is your favorite map. Or is it split?
Might be split, honestly, but I mean, no, actually, it's Haven. It's definitely Haven.
Yeah, Haven's some good stuff. Just kind of looking into the future right now. Obviously, your team is building at 4 of the 5. Sentinels have 4 of their 5. I know Energy, Immortals, Cloud9. A lot of organizations are building teams currently. Gen G has their 5, French Canadian roster. What teams are you kind of looking at right now? Gen G obviously has won the T1 Invitational. Sentinels have their 4, but are there any teams that are kind of you're looking at as rivals currently, or who are looking like the best right now in NA?
I would say Gen G is like the obvious one, but like nobody, I don't think anyone can really say because it's like there hasn't been much competition and there hasn't been a lot of time for everyone to like get things down, so it's hard to say. But Gen G is like the obvious one for everyone, yeah.
So I'm sure Riot developers will be watching this. Valorant devs are very active. If a Valorant dev was watching this or the Valorant team was watching this, what's one thing you would want to change about the game right before we get into the launch, right at the kickstart of the esports scene? What's one change you would want in the game?
First thing, the absolute first thing that comes to mind is rope accuracy. I think that's ridiculous. That someone can be on a rope and they're fully accurate.
So they just can pop up, pop down, just
yeah,
kind of.
I think that's silly. Yeah.
So rope accuracy by far number one.
By far, yeah.
Is there anything else you'd want to change, or are you just mind just focused on just getting the ropes fixed?
I don't know. I need some like ideas. That's the first one that comes to mind though. But there's definitely other things, but I just can't get them off the top of my head right now.
So for all the the T1 fans and the new fans of Valorant who didn't get to watch your play in CSGO, what kind of player are you, and what should they expect from seeing Food in Valorant?
So across my CSGO teams, I've been like, I kind of do everything. Like, there's some teams I'm like the entry where like I'm usually the first point of contact. Other teams I've been a lurker, which is I get sent off to the other edge of the map where I'm alone and I have to like control that area by myself. So I think I'm pretty versatile if I say so myself. But I'm honestly not sure what kind of player I will be in the Valorant for.
Final question, what do you want to say to all those fans now? Now, I'm sure T1, big organization, you're going to be getting a lot of fans from this move, a lot of Korean fans as well. What do you want to say to the T1 faithful as you set your course in Valorant?
Yeah, so hopefully the fans I have from CSGO don't leave me. Hopefully they'll support me in Valorant, and obviously all the new fans that will be coming in. Hope you support me as well.
Thank you, Food. And if you want more news and highlights all around the world of Valorant as we head into launch, check us out at espn.com/esports.